How are you, YouTube? George here. Hope you're all well. And I just said I'd post this up today because I didn't get a chance to do anything yesterday. Nearly there with Frank's 148. We made a couple of changes, and I made a mistake on the decal as well. So it just kind of worked out then in the end, because with the changes that are made, getting your decal done anyway. So no big deal. So I made a few changes here on the bench because it just wasn't working. Couldn't find stuff. It was just really slowing me down. So I came up with this the other evening. And that is the most commonly used stuff that I use here. The tools of my trade, if you will. And I made up this thing out with some pallet wood, and I had the two magnetic strips. Some long-time viewers might remember they were on the front of the desk here for a long time, and then I took them off. But everything I use is up here, and yes, I know they will be magnetized, but I don't mind. So I have my LEDs and some resistors and pens and all that kind of carry on, and it just kind of sits there. So if it works, I'll sand it down and paint it. Probably paint it red or something to match everything else. Right, so I decided then we're going to do a bit of a clear out in this spot here, because I want to get some more test gear, and I don't know what I'll fit in here, but we'll get something that fits in there. I don't know, we'll find something somewhere. Always on the lookout for test gear. So this little lad is working well. I used them for the first time the weekend, and works perfect. And that's the 60 meg version of that, and we're quite pleased with it. So I came up then, the power supply was here, and I talked before about moving it, and it's up here now on the shelf. And what I did was, rather to be, you know, getting up and down to turn it on and off, because I'm so used to switching it on here, I came up with this. So basically what's going on here is there is this is a remote switch to turn the power supply on and off, and then the feed from the power supply comes in here. It's distributed around the bench to wherever it has to go, like poor old Cobra Man's meter, the 148, and then I have a 13.8 volt lead there for Uniden radios, and my extension speaker, and my dummy load. So I just knocked that together out with some shite that was lying around the place, and I had it out in the sun, and I got this freaky, it was too hot when the paint went on, and I got this freaky pattern, and I don't know, I think it kind of looks cool, so I'm going to leave it like that. So I have two sets of insulated terminals here, 13.8, and I have this piece of copper with a little crock clip on it. So what I'm doing here is, when I'm in a radio with the meter, I can clip the negative probe in there, and I have one hand free then, basically. So made it up, little aluminium foot with the almost obligatory now at this stage stamped aluminium, and painted it in, and yeah, it came out cool. And I put an orange LED in it for a change. We didn't go with blue. So there you go, just a spare little crocodile clip on the side of it. And yeah, that's, I'm not going to show you the rest of the place now because it's absolutely upside down. But yeah, quite pleased here now. Everything is grand. And you know, I had a problem with these where they weren't long enough. They'd only come out to about here. So now they'll, you know, they're really long. And so is the dummy load is really long as well. And it's just caught up in something there now. I have to untangle them. I didn't actually pull them out yet. So once I get all of that sorted out, everything will be cushy, as Del Boy used to say. So there you go. And yeah, who was it that I frightened the crap out of the other evening when we were doing the live and my compressor went off? I found the cause of that. A very, very slight air leak that I didn't really know about, and I found it today when I wasn't really looking for it. So there you go. So that won't happen again. So there you have it, and quite pleased with that. Had the meter, had the terminals, had the switch, and the only problem with the switch is that the neon stays on all the time, whatever the deal is with it. But it turns the supply off, which is grand. I flip the switch, on she goes, and happy days. So there you go. And the beauty of this is, if I ever decide to upgrade the supply, I got that for nothing somewhere. I don't have to change this. I just plug in the supply up here, and the supply has its own socket up on the wall, which is switched by this lad here. So quite handy. So yeah, I hope everybody had a good long weekend, and I'm back into work tonight. So there you have it. We'll catch you the weekend, and you all stay safe and take care. This is George, EI7 Kilo Oscar. Bye bye.